ahead.
Hi there, I'm Patrizia, and this is Tristan Avekian. It came about with this aria by Mozart called The Magic Flute. From the opera The Magic Flute, it's the Queen of the Night Vengeance aria. And it came about that when I was performing this, I kept hearing a rock band behind it. And so to satisfy my own musical uh, longing and desires, I decided that I would combine the two. I would combine the opera with the rock. But going a little bit back, I just wanted to say that a lot of people think that I am an opera singer, and I started off as an opera singer from way back, but that's not the case at all. I come from very humble origin, from Abruzzo, Italy, and I grew up listening to pop and listening to rock and dreaming of becoming a rock star, which actually it brought me to Toronto. So what happened is that I didn't get into opera until later, because I heard this recording of the great soprano Maria Callas that changed my life completely. Because prior to that, I didn't like opera, and I run away from it. As soon as I heard it, I run. But when I heard Maria Callas, that changed everything for me, because I could feel the drama, the emotion, and it was truthful, and so it really spoke to me. It spoke to me so much that I ended up studying opera, and I started doing operatic productions, and that led me to doing the Queen of the Nights aria. And that's how I started with blending opera with rock. And after that, I did the demo of the Queen of the Night Vengeance aria, which is called Rage. And it was produced by Kenny MacLean, a Platinum Blonde. As a matter of fact, it was Kenny MacLean that gave me my first break. And he basically, took me under his wings. And the rest is history. Yes, the new CD is called I Am Patrizia CD. Basically, it's a collection of all my prior work and some new work too, which I am very excited because I've been collaborating with this great guy over here, Tristan Avekian, really a true talent, a true artist, and I'm really, really excited. We have done some very interesting work. We have done a cover of Queen's song, The Show Must Go On, and Albinoni's Adagio. So we were very, very excited to eventually release this on April 3rd. Other producers in this recording include Kenny MacLean, the late Kenny MacLean from Platinum Blonde. There's a couple of songs there. And also Steve Thompson from the Guns N' Roses and Metallica fame, and also Paul Milner, and also Daigle and Vic Park. Also on my pop single, I've got them as producers. So it's a collection of all my work. It's a mixture of combining opera, classical with rock and with pop, and also changing up the voices too. I'm not always singing with an opera voice, but I'm also singing with a pop voice. And the aim of doing this is to really convey the lyrics and the meaning, behind the song. And I'm really proud of it. One of them in particular, which I'm really, really excited about, is The Show Must Go On. The genius of Tristan here, brought in a fantastic pianist. As a matter of fact, a legendary pianist of David Bowie's fame, because his name is Mike Garson, and he was the legendary piano player of David Bowie. So Tristan, in his brilliant mind, brought us together, and the effect is quite something, I have to say.
Well, I initially I was wrestling with the instrumental section because it's a guitar solo, and it's Brian, and of course it's brilliant. But I thought to myself, well, how can I top this? I mean, I sort of can't possibly, and I don't want to slavishly imitate it either, because then it's karaoke. And then I had the idea of having a piano, basically do essentially what a lead guitarist does, which is sort of bring the lyric, comment on the lyric, and bring it to life. Bring out, particularly in this song, the sort of drama and madness and desperation inherent in the lyric, and like to bring it from the back right around to the front. And then I just started hearing Mike Garson in my head, and I thought to myself, who can I get to do this? His big moment, of course, was on the album Aladdin Sane. It's all that stuff. It sounds like the piano's on fire and it's getting thrown out the window. That's all him. And then I thought to myself, well, why don't I just get Mike Garson? I'd met him at a sound check, a Bowie sound check, because a friend of mine plays drums with him. And so I did it. I looked him up on the internet, and I just rang him up, and he was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll do it." And it was a fantastic coup, actually, because he's a really good match for the drama inherent in the song, and also like the Patrizia's approach to singing, which is no holds barred. It's very dramatic, and it just was one of those. It was just one of those happy things, really. I envisioned it in my head, and it came out. It came out splendidly. It came out very much. It did exactly what I wanted, which was bring out bring out the drama inherent in the music and in Patrizia's impassioned delivery. Without resorting to a lead guitar or something obvious. I mean, I am a lead guitarist, so which is another reason that I didn't want to do it, because it was too much like work. It was a lot more fun to hear another voice in there besides my own.
And for me, the meaning behind the song, this song, it was written by Brian May for Freddie Mercury as he was dying. So for me, of course I'm not dying, but I took another angle because I too, have gone through a lot in the last 5 years. I've watched so many people die from cancer, and I almost give up on my dream, because it was so much stress, so much sorrow. I almost give up. And so this song came at the right time, because it's kind of like encouraged me, and it spurred me on, to continue. That the show, it must go on. And even though inside I'm dying, I feel so sad and so much grief. I just have to put on that face and just go on. As a matter of fact, all during this time, I just kept pushing myself. So I'm taking it from that perspective, that it's, for me, is as an artist, I need to go on. Steve Thompson, the Grammy Award-winning producer, Steve Thompson. Yes, I'm really proud of the song, though, that him and I did together. It was arranged by him too, and it's based on Beethoven's The Moonlight Sonata. It's called My Beloved. A lot of you probably have heard it already, but I'm releasing it in this new album as a full version, which has never been heard before. It's about saying the final goodbye, and Steve Thompson was fantastic to work with too, because he really focused on the performance, the vocal performance, and I'm pretty proud of that vocal performance that I give on that song, My Beloved. Paul Milner and I go way back. He's a wonderful producer too. As a matter of fact, I began with Kenny MacLean, and then I moved on to Paul Milner. And Paul Milner was the producer of The Edge of Emotion, which it resulted in many videos on Bravo. And while Paul is a very interesting producer, he brought in Kevin Bright on the sessions, a very, very acclaimed guitarist. He's worked with Celine
Nora Jones.
Dion, Nora Jones. He was, in Nora Jones' band for a while. He is a real genius guitarist. So his work is on these 3 songs, which is going to be included on the I Am Patrizia CD. He is a genius. That's all I could say about him. So Paul was instrumental in bringing all of these people together, and it also includes Dan Cutrona, that worked with the Bee Gees and Joe Cocker. It includes Fergus Marsh, that has worked with Bruce Cockburn. So he's brought in a really, really, very high musicianship kind of people onto the project. So I'm very excited about sharing this with the public too. The other producer that I really want to talk about is Kenny MacLean. Kenny MacLean was, as we know, Kenny has passed away. Kenny MacLean started this journey with me, and I have to say I really love his work. His passion, his enthusiasm for this project was totally awesome, and I don't say that word very often, but it was totally awesome. So on the CD, you're gonna hear 2 songs which I've done with him, Seduction and Rage. Seduction has never been released or heard before, and it's marvelous. Kenny has brought a real, he's brought the Kenny into the project, and that's saying a lot. The last song on the album, it also includes the only original song actually on the album. It's called I Won't Stop Believing. It was my last pop single that was released to commercial radio last year, and it's I collaborated with Murray Daigle, Temelkos, and Akiofos of Vic Park Productions, and it's a song where it really it puts everything that I'm doing in perspective, in that I'm including all these elements in my music, the pop, some of the opera, and that I will not stop believing in this vision of mine, in this dream of mine, because my vision, it really is about that I want to relate to people in general. I really want to remove that elitist status to classical and opera, because essentially it's just music, and any great music is worth listening to, and art is art and music is music, and there should not be any divisions, just like the races in the world. We talk about equality, and I'm taking that into the musical sphere too, because there's too much of this sort of boundaries going on, and I'm trying to say that, hey, it's music, let's just enjoy it. If you feel something, then it's great. If you don't feel something, then just sort of move on. But I believe in really in taking away all of those boundaries, all of those sort of prejudices. Well, I don't listen to country, or I only listen to rock, or I only listen to bluegrass, or whatever. I think that if it's great, it's great. So that's essentially what I'm trying to do, is I'm trying to bring this very supposedly elitist music to the common person, because I am a common person. I started off not even knowing anything about opera or classical music until later in life. So if I could appreciate it and get into it, then other people can too, and it brings a great source of pleasure to people, because to me, because it's music that is composed by geniuses, and it's about life and death and everything else in between. It's really complete. So I am just inviting everybody to be open and take a listen, and if it moves you, stay with it, and if it doesn't, move on.